Hi and welcome back to the channel, and today our used car conveyor belt has brought us a 15-year-old 2005 Rover 45. And as we can see down the side of this car, the vehicle is not fitted with front parking sensors. So the previous owners had the ingenious idea, if they drive the car close enough to the hedge, that the audible grinding noise of the bushes and all the leaves scraping down the side of the bodywork has told him he's probably near enough to the curb. So as you probably guessed, my challenge today is to make the outside of the car look as good as the inside. And as we can see in the pictures, the inside of this car is in fantastic condition, mainly due to the fact it's actually only covered 18,000 miles from new. So the tools of choice I'm going to go with today is this Flex Dual Action Polisher. It's a battery operated one. I'll press the button here and we can see the battery needs charging. It's relatively lightweight, it's not too bad. These have been out for about a year. I've got the corded version and also the cordless version. We're going to be using a Chemical Guys Hexalogic pad. That's the more aggressive one they do because we obviously need to cut the paint back quite a bit. And I'll just demonstrate on camera here. If I press the button, we can see this dual action not only rotates, but it also oscillates as well. Once we've cut the paintwork back, we're going to need to refine it as well, so we'll use this black pad, which is a little bit softer. And the two compounds we're going to be using today are by the same company, Koch Chemie. H9 is the more aggressive one, so we're using that with the yellow pad. And then for the refinishing, we're going to be using M2 with the black pad. And for the smaller, more intricate areas, we'll be using this Rupes Hybrid Mini Nano Polisher. It's a dual action as well, so it obviously oscillates and rotates, which I'll demonstrate on camera if I give it a swirl. There we go. And in this circumstances, I'm using their pads. So the blue one's the more aggressive pad, and the yellow one's an intermediate, so it's quite soft, and I'll be refinishing with that. So due to the passenger side of this car being quite badly scratched, although I'm only going to show sort of one pass on camera or maybe two at best, you may go over this panel multiple times until you get to a desired level you want of correction, and it always comes down to what the customer wants regarding cost and budget as well. So on this front wing there's a couple of scratches, one near the wheel arch here, and we can see where it joins the front bumper, that I really want to spend a little bit more localized time on to see if I can remove them. And this is where the smaller polisher comes into its own, because you can just more isolate that area of the panel you're working on rather than trying to work out a wider area with a bigger pad. So with the paintwork buffed off, we can pull that little bit of masking tape off and we can get a good idea of what we've improved. So obviously on the right we haven't corrected it yet, and on the left hand side we have. We can also see on the left hand side there's a little bit of hazing there and marring, and that's what we use the second compound to go over with the softer pad, so it'll remove that and it'll put a much deeper gloss back into the paintwork as well afterwards. I've also actually got some good news, because we're approaching a bank holiday weekend by the time this video goes out, and if you watch the video to the end, I've had a ex-Royal Mail Vauxhall Combo van, or it's an Opel in Europe, van turn up. And Royal Mail vans are red, I should explain, and this thing is completely faded and almost gone pink, and the inside of it's had a dog and stuff in it. It's absolutely disgusting. So I'm going to spend my bank holiday weekend cleaning that and filming it for the channel. Hopefully it's going to be really good content. These things look so much different. I've done a number of these over the years, so the before and after on that's going to be hopefully one hell of a transformation, so it should be well worth a watch in a week or so. I will actually point out now as well that this car was filmed I think in February of this year, because in the after shots it does look a little bit wintry, and at the moment we're in the UK and it's in the summer, so I say this footage has been lying around about 6 months, and I've only just dug it out really. I don't know why I haven't released it before. I think mostly because obviously you guys will tell me in the comments below, I think people will want a situation where it's a disaster detail type thing and it's the whole car rather than just a polishing video. So obviously I've turned the lights off here so that we can use the inspection light, and the reason why I've done this is it just shows you the level of gloss and how dark the paintwork looks on the left compared to the right, and how much we've improved it already. I actually bought this Librid Nano Polisher after seeing somebody use it on a high-end car. At the top of my head, I think it was a Porsche or something. And even though the sort of cheaper end of the market I'm doing, I still find it really beneficial to have it on a daily basis. It's a brilliant little bit of kit. I know Flex have come out with one as well, which is a battery operated one. I haven't seen that one in person yet. I might sort of have a look at that as well in the future and acquire one of those if I can afford it as well. I think what I enjoyed the most about editing this video is it's a real showcase for what some of these tools and machinery can do. And you don't need to be working on a Porsche, you can still work on a cheaper car like this at $2,500 and make a massive improvement to it. I mean, some people would have looked at the side of this car and said it needs respraying. As we're about to see at the end of it, it's far from it. It's near perfect, which is fantastic. You know, the car's kept original because obviously the mileage is low, and it's made to look really presentable at the end of it. So with the aid of the inspection light, we can now see again what a vast improvement we've left from the left to the right of the vehicle. We're going to switch to the bonnet. I'm not going to show too much of that being polished, to be honest, or the offside, which would be the driver's side, purely because, if I'm honest, they were just really slightly hazed. It was only that sort of near side, which is obviously near the bushes when you park up, that was really badly damaged. So the rest of the car didn't take too long to correct and get to a good standard. And likewise, I haven't bothered showing any of the refinishing stage with the second pad, for the sole reason I think personally it's just going to look a little bit boring on camera. The cutting stage is what shows you the massive effects. We're going to see in a minute we're going down the side with the inspection light after we've polished it, so you get an honest representation of how the car was improved. What this sort of section shows though, which is quite interesting. The left is obviously uncorrected and quite badly hazed, but on the right we've got the gloss and depth back, but we can still see that very light marring, which is why it's really important to go over afterwards with that black soft polishing pad with a very fine cut, just to remove that and obviously add a bit more gloss to it as well. And as I'm showing you here, this is what the driver's side of the car looked like prior to any work being done, and to be honest it wasn't that bad, so I didn't bother showing that being polished because I didn't see there's any value in it really. So after the car's been machine polished twice, once the cutting stage and second the refining stage, I've then just gone over and applied a coat of polish to the vehicle, and for this I've used Autoglim Super Resin Polish. So the car's got a really good reflection back on it as well, and as we can see under this inspection light, which is really critical and will show any of the small imperfections out, this isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a monumental improvement. We've got all those bush marks out on all those scratches, and we've restored that really nice British Racing Green dark gloss back out of that paintwork, and overall this has come up really well. I think the great thing about this particular car is it can show you what's possible perhaps on your car if it's got a few marks or a few scratches, you know, and you think, oh, that looks a bit tired or a bit old. You know, with a bit of time and effort, it's amazing what you can achieve. So as we're about to see, this car does need a little bit of touch up here and there, mainly on this driver's door. As we can see, it's got a few chips on it. I think there was still a little scuff on the near side, which is curbside, front bumper as well, that needed a little bit of attention. But overall, the bodywork on this thing was absolutely fantastic. Considering its age, let's say the mileage, it now reflects what it should look like. So this car did get the full works. I did clean the engine bay. The inside was so clean, I literally just flicked a hoover around it and gave it a wipe over, and it was more the task of doing the bodywork. And as I said, this was filmed in the winter, so that's why I did extensive shots inside with the torch and things, because although it does look very nice outside, it doesn't really showcase how much we'd improved it. And coming up next, we have Postman Pat's ex-Royal Mail van for you. So basically the Royal Mail usually defleets after about 5 or 6 years. So this vehicle, I think off the top of my head, is about 10 years old. So it means it's been in public hands. Someone's had it or a tradesman's had it in between. It's gone back into the used car network, and we're going to have to work some magic on it. It's pretty grim inside and out. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it definitely needs some TLC. And you'll be genuinely amazed what we can do with the paintwork on this one. It will really be a turnaround. And as we can see on this driver's seat, there's a really nasty stain obviously at the front, but this side bolt has already been replaced, that's why it's off colour. So we'll do the best we can with this, but we're going to just do a localised repair on the wheels as well. Maybe do something with the roof rack, that's a bit rusty, but we'll give this a thorough going over. And yeah, it should be good fun to watch. So hopefully I'll see you in about a week or so's time when this is released. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon.